Hi guys, welcome to Mums and Melanin. I'm Debbie.
I'm Takoni.
I'm Ayola. And I'm Takumba.
So today guys, we're going to talk about the things that they don't tell you about being a mum.
There's so much.
The many things you don't know.
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin? That's a good question.
That's it. Okay, so really, there's so many things, and I think we probably can't cover it all. But I'm going to start with one major one for me. I wonder if I was just blonde, but I'll start with it anyway, and we'll see what happens.
Blonde?
Yeah, I just don't know if it was me that was just being a bit... I'll go to it. So basically, when I had Micaiah, you know, before you give birth, you know, you get all these videos on your app and stuff that tells you, oh, read about breastfeeding, this about, I don't know, baby sleeping, different things like labour, C-section, and even, you know, like the classes you go to before. So obviously, I don't know, I obviously thought I was some type of a pro in it, to be honest.
Wow.
Because the breastfeeding, I was like, breastfeeding, who's wasting time? Like, what is it? Just to breastfeed. So I didn't go to my, go on the trip, I thought, I don't need that. So I was more focused on like, what was I even focused on? I think it was more like labour. I believed I was going to have, you know, very smooth, one of those, a cough that baby came out kind of vibes. So honestly, like, I was very selective what I was reading. And I just felt like breastfeeding there was just not much to it.
Yeah.
So, fine. I had my son, Micaiah, who's now 3 years old. And whilst I was in the hospital, it took a while to kind of get my lactation going and all the rest of it. But anyways, we got there and I started feeding him. That thing is painful. Nobody told me. But anyways, we got like even from the beginning. So obviously, I had a C-section. That's a story for another day. But the syringe, I had to use the syringe to get the first. What's that thing? Colostrum. Exactly, to feed him. That alone, like, we've been massaging boob. Like, again, I didn't read any of this, and no one said to me, "Oh, by the way, there's something called colostrum." It's just, I just think it doesn't come up in top.
No, it's true. It's true.
Some people talk about the general night feeding or baby not sleeping, but no one was telling me about just even that initial part of
how important
motherhood.
it is. Yeah.
So the nurse brought some syringe. She's like, "Yeah, you just need to press it and catch it." I'm like, "Catch
really?
it with a syringe." So I'm there, like, proper trying to massage. It's not working. I had to get one of the midwives to come. Lovely lady, she was helping me. When she was doing it, I was getting a bit more, but I thought like I'll get a full syringe. She's congratulating me at like.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, this is amazing. I'm looking like, is the baby really gonna be full on this?
Yeah.
The belly's like
tiny, and that is the most nutritious part of the meal.
So that was one of the major things. But anyways, and I was giving it to him, and then slowly I started to get the milk through. Fantastic. So fast forward to when I left the hospital and I went home, right? I'm feeding him as and when he wants to be fed. If he's hungry, if he's crying, and I've changed his nappies and the rest of it, I will put him on a boob and feed him. I bought a pump, but I thought you're meant to pump when you go out.
What?
So I thought you only pump when you need to have milk in the fridge.
Okay.
I didn't think you needed the pump just generally
To increase your milk flow.
Honestly, guys, I just didn't know any of this. Like, I genuinely just didn't know this. So obviously for me, I'm just feeding him when he's hungry, and then I put him down and I just get on with my life. I put my little breast pads on, put my bra, and I just keep it moving.
Yeah.
So I think it was the second or third day after I had Micaiah, I was laying down, funny enough. Guys, I literally, all of a sudden, like, the cold was unbearable. Like, I just felt this sudden cold, like I can't describe it. Freezing. I literally had goosebumps everywhere.
Really?
I was freezing. My teeth started clattering.
What?
So I was like, oh my God, like that, literally. I was like, "Oh, Sadiq, please, can I get socks?" And I'm clattering. I'm like, "It's really cold in here. It's really cold in here." And he's looking at me like, "Okay, it's not cold, but cool." So he gave me socks. I asked for another pair of the proper woolly one. I put that on the top. Then I put the duvet on, everything. And I didn't really get what was going on, but I was just cold. I was just really cold. Anyways, as my mum was there, I had a few people in the house. You know, you just give birth, there's a few people around, so a few people in the house. And they came around, everyone. My mum was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I'm just cold. But I genuinely just thought it was just cold, funny enough, very similar to you. So it kind of made me think sometimes when that happens, it's obviously some type of a trigger or warning. So, again, I didn't know that. I just thought I was cold. So, my dad was like, no, we need to take this girl to hospital, because I was literally, my teeth were shaking, my whole body was shaking, but I had a temperature. So if you touched me, I was hot. But I was extremely cold. So he was like, you need to kind of get some air, like you're boiling. And I'm like, no, I'm freezing, but I'm sweating, but I'm freezing. So it was all just confusing. So my dad's very like, he doesn't play with all this kind of stuff. He was like, no, let's go to the hospital. Fine, we got to the hospital, and they were like, they plugged me up, they're trying to figure out what's going on, all the rest of it. And then it comes down to mastitis.
Mastitis, that word. Ooh,
it already sounds rude.
Mastitis. I was even like, I didn't know what it was. And already I was quite emotional because I had to leave my baby that's literally 3 days old. Like, what's wrong with me? I should be able to kick into mummy action. They're now taking me to the ambulance, all this drama. Like, like, what is all of this? So obviously, they were like, okay, we think we've got mastitis. You're going to need to go and pump. But they gave me antibiotics, and then they said, you need to go and pump. And I was just like, no, like something's wrong. I just didn't link it to milk. I just, particularly because I didn't have the best flow in the world. So I just thought, it can't be my boobs. Like, these people aren't looking into it properly, or they're overlooking something. Anyways, so I went into the room where you pump in the hospital, and we all know that the pump in the hospital, I don't know if you guys have tried it. That's a report.
Really?
It's strong.
What? No, I don't want it.
What? You think breastfeeding is painful? What?
Seriously?
My nipple was like down there. Whoa. And like, you need to put it up. Mate, it's painful at first because your pump doesn't stretch as hard as these are big machines. So anyways, I managed to get rid of all this milk that I didn't even realise was just sitting there. I had to use like hot flannels and all the rest of it to try and get all that. And no one ever said to me, use hot flannels, pump. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if you guys like had that, but for me, I just only pumped when I needed to. I was in the hospital. They had to bring Makai to the hospital because they were like, obviously it's not good for him to be away from me when he's so young. So then my mum had to bring him to the hospital. I was down in the hospital for the next like 5 days, just trying to recover from everything because it was really bad. I had to keep pumping. I was really affected. Like my whole body, I could.
Did they give you any other medication or
antibiotics to get rid of it? And they just had to keep watching me, and then I had like the pumping. I didn't know I had that much
milk clogged up,
turned into stone, like rock solid. So obviously that's just one of the many things. But did you guys know?
So I know when you said mastitis, I know the dreaded word. So throughout my pregnancies, more so with my second child Isaiah, who's now 5. I was gonna say 6. He's actually 5. Anyway, I knew in my head, I don't want to get mastitis. But I just knew that it's when your breasts go rock hard and the milk is just stuck in the ducts. Like even now, I didn't know the full extent of what could happen. That sounds scary. And it even now holds in more that it's something I don't want to experience. But it's something you just don't know about.
You don't know about, and you know what it is? It's not knowing about it while you're breastfeeding, like early on. I feel like most people experience it towards the end of breastfeeding when you're trying to wean off and you get the hard. But that at the beginning,
like when you're trying to wean off, your boobs get hard, it gets painful. I knew about that. I didn't know it was mastitis. I just knew that was something that happened to me. But nobody told me, and obviously, I wasn't using anything at that time to kind of try and prompt breast milk. So again, it was just really sudden for me. Like, did you know about that?
No, I just I've got my stories in breastfeeding.
But it goes to show, like, there's a lot of things that parents don't know, and I think you need to read your app. You need to read your app. I feel like my next everything. Research is important, and the things that you think you know just by your friends being a mum or something or whatever else, or other people around you, is still not enough. Like knowing it for yourself is just important. Because you kind of feel in control.
But you know what? Also, I feel like not everybody is a research type of person. For me, I'm not gonna sit down and start reading and breastfeeding. I will never know the intricacies of every little thing to do with pregnancy because it's not me. I'll watch One Born every minute. I'll watch it over and delivery. I'll watch all of these. I promise you, I can tell you every person that has attended these hospitals. I know the midwives by name. I've never visited Manchester Hospital because I've watched them all. Me personally, I'm a midwife. I can tell you how the tunnel will come. No, the head is not ready. Now you literally, because I've watched all of it. But like to actually now like, I can't sit down and be like, yeah, this is what I need to do. And it's not me. I kind of learn through seeing and asking.
But just
and if it's happening to you.
Now, because I've had 3 kids. And
you have more experience.
Yeah, like, that as well. I kind of need to, I'm a person that I need to learn on the job.
Yeah.
So, if something happens, I may like, okay, Google shouldn't be your best friend, but slightly is my best friend. Something's happening, I may Google it and, okay, I take it with a pinch of salt and then I relate it to my own situation.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to read through all these articles.
Yeah.
The apps, they're great, but I'm not going to do it. That's just me personally. I tend to ask other people, like I'll ask my mom or ask my friends that have other children. But because every pregnancy
is so different.
Every mothering experience is different.
Literally.
So you can't really like compare the two. Like what you've been through, I haven't been through.
Yeah.
But I know that like it's something that I don't necessarily want. So I'll now ask questions like, okay, how do I prevent this? Yeah, like do you know what I mean? Like or like, oh, what was it like for you? Okay, you did X, Y, and Z. All right, cool. Now I know. If I was a new mum and I hadn't had a child before, I would be okay, maybe let me pump more. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So through like talking to friends that have children and kind of like that kind of
I think maybe because as well, I was the first mum in my friendship group. So there was no one. That's probably another thing, like mums who don't have mum friends. Like no one around me had a child yet. So of course for me it was like, shocker. I should have done my research. That's the truth. Like because again, I only have the afterthought of asking somebody when something's happened to go by. I don't have the prior knowledge from friends around me and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Is there anything else that you guys have like just not known that you found out, like pregnancy, birth, children?
Can I say, and this is going to sound so silly, I didn't know it would be so hard. And in saying that, like I knew that having a child, I knew that having a child is a hard thing. Like the actual giving birth is hard and the aftermath of not being able to sleep and all of that. But having a child is a full-time job. And I'm saying these things and it sounds very cliche and you hear it all the time. But it's hard.
True. It's
You don't
fact.
switch off.
You don't.
Forever.
Forever.
It's forever.
Literally. Even when you're sitting, there's a running list. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to do this, that, and the other, or you know.
They say that it causes like mental exhaustion. So you're resting, you're thinking about shopping, you're thinking about meals, you're thinking about the child dinner.
So different.
So many things you learn with each child.
Literally, I have 3 children. My oldest is 14 years old. So I'm a veteran in the game, y'all. Hello.
Come on.
Can somebody do ballet for me or what? I don't know. But when I had her, I was young. That's a whole nother story, guys. Are you ready for that ride? I don't know. Anyway, so like everything was just a breeze. Like I had her, she came out, pew. My stomach even went down slim. I was slimmer than when I was even a baby. You know what I'm saying? And it was fine. Like you just went on with it. It was nothing. When I had my son, who's now 5 again, like I said, everything changed. The pregnancy was different. When he came out, he was smaller. Like there were so many things that I didn't know. I didn't understand, and you can't help but compare. But because you can only base it on what you've known before. So I'm like, okay, why is this happening? Why is he so small? Why is his eyes doing cross like this? You just don't know. And it's like, no matter how experienced you think you are, pregnancy will come and just throw one spanner in the works. And you'll just be confused, dazed, looking through all the books that you put in the corner that is now holding up the light that you come home to get stand for. You know what I'm saying? Like that you now come and look back at and say, that's so they said that.
Exactly.
What? Listen, there's so many things you don't know about parenting, but it's one of those things that you're forever learning, and I love that. I love that each child brings something new. Like,
even as they grow. Even as they grow, like their needs change.
You guys heard about this Diastasis Recti?
Who knew?
Baby, it's a stomach muscle separated. So you know that someone's supposed to be here together.
So after when you have a baby, all your muscles separate. And when you
what happens, your belly's big.
What happens is even when you go back to normal and you've given birth, the muscles don't go back. There's still a space. So you have a space. You'll be able to put your fingers. You'll be able to put your fingers in the middle.
So when you lie down,
to go in and to sew the muscles together.
I've seen Dr. Miami like sew it back up when he's doing like mommy makeovers. So basically your muscles especially if you have a C-section as well, it's more prone to people that have had C-section. So when they've cut you open, they're tearing your muscle, right? And then they stitch you back up. So the muscles are like this, essentially. Everybody, when you're young and funky fresh, you're walking, your muscles are like this. As your body's growing, it's stretching out, right? When you give birth, you will stretch like this now. When you have C-section, you will stretch like this. And then bring it back together. So usually it's 2 fingers.
Sometimes
2 fingers is normal. Like anything beyond that, if you can sit, you lie down and put just above your belly button, and you can sit up and your fingers are in the groove. Babe, this is a wrap. So when I had my kids, I'll be checking. Back and forth like that. I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's so many changes. Changes with nipples.
They don't go back.
They be swinging. But but then I feel like you know, like everybody knows. All right, cool. You have babies, your tits are gonna be swinging. You kind of know that.
Some people, you know what?
I didn't expect what happened to you.
Some people have smaller boobs and they think because it's smaller, it's less likely to be. You can't. It's less likely to drop. Exactly. You can't imagine what it even looks like.
Do you know what? Even going back to the body, even the way your body looks after birth. After 1, okay, I've got 3 kids, just like Debbie. After 1, after 2, after 3, completely it's different. Like, whoa, I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, is that me? Still. My son is 2. Give me time to get over it.
No, even me, after 1, like, at the time, I was like, wow. But not after 2, I think I even want the one I had to like.
Can I tell you? I want my body from.
My first kid, I was like, oh, like, do you know what I mean? Postpartum my second, just give me postpartum my first kid.
And I'll take that.
Yes, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know this is the thing? I obviously only have 1 at the moment. And I think for me, I'm very focused on trying to get my pre-baby body back because when I have more, I don't want to go beyond a size I can control. Because exercise is not for me. Jumping in my living room is not for me. YouTube workouts, PE wasn't for me, and it's mandatory. So I'm just being honest. For the ones that are like me,
like it if you're like her.
Because in all honesty, I'm really trying hard. My friend here, she eats only from 3 o'clock to 4, something like that. So I'm trying to work it out with her.
From 3 till 9, intermittent fasting. I try my best. Obviously, I've got a 6-month-old, so I'm trying to, ginger myself in it.
And she's the slimmest one here. Look, this one, she ate like a rabbit for how long? I want to say a rabbit.
I asked her today. I said my friend eats at 3 o'clock. So do I, but I eat 1 meal at 3 and then a snack.
I don't eat after that.
This is not for me. This is not my area. I said to the
Tokumbo and Tokoni.
It's a lot.
There's a reason their names be rhyming. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You can't do that.
You'll be growling. Listen, being a mother, being a parent, being a parent, we'll include you dads in it because we're not excluding the fathers. No. You guys are out here doing your job.
Things like sleep deprivation, for any parent, it's a lot.
It's not easy.
Regardless how many times people tell you to sleep as much as you can,
it's hard.
You cannot prepare for that level of deprivation.
You can't.
You cannot. Like your body, you can't. You've been in overdrive, and then now you've got responsibility. So it's like you can't fully. When last I can't remember. No. You know them sleep-ins, like lying.
Lying? What is that? What is that? I don't know what it is.
Even with the newborn, my son 2 till 4. You'll be smiling at me. 2 till 4 practicing.
And you know that's the time that sleep is sweet.
That's the time you want it exactly.
When sleep is
that's
so
sweet. That's the time I finally pumped. I've listened to the people in the hospital. I can't say, let me lie down. Suddenly he's saying, I'm joking.
Kids, they know.
They do.
The
Guys,
thing is, go on, babe.
Is it just me? Did anybody else get really anxious? Like after you've had the baby, like I know when I had Amara, who's now 1, she'll be 2 soon. Oh, my baby's gonna be 2 soon. Literally. But when I had her, bearing in mind she's the 3rd and final, and I was really anxious. Like I'd never had a baby before. I didn't know.
I got the same thing with Zeke. With my last one.
I was so anxious.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like everything. Like it would get to 10 o'clock every night, and I'll be really scared. Like okay. like it's nighttime now. Like, is she gonna sleep? Like, and I didn't know.
You're used to your sleep now.
Maybe like, it had been a good 4 years, and I'd been sleeping soundly. And I just 10 o'clock from 10 till like 2, and it was so bad that I was sleeping on the sofa because in my head she slept better when I was in the living room. So we slept on the sofa. Like me and Charles were on the sofa like this, one here, Amara on my chest, and that's how we would be. And then I had to kind of psych myself into going into the room and have her in the next to me. Yeah, it was really bad. And I don't know if it's just me. Like you're saying, you had it with Ezekiel.
I had it with Ezekiel, but while I was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what it was. I was just anxious. Like, is everything gonna be okay? Even from like I had a C-section with my second one, Azariah, who's now 4, and with Ezekiel as well. But with Zeke, I thought it was gonna be natural. Like that was the aim. So maybe that was the anxiety, like thinking, okay, am I gonna have another C-section? And remembering what I went through with my second. I think that's where the anxiety really was, like, it was there.
I definitely think there's a lot of anxiety though before you give birth. Like just that going from home to the hospital and hoping to have a particular type of birth and not being sure. Like just that moment of not being sure of what kind of birth you're gonna have.
I think it's, you know what it is? It's kind of like in that moment you feel like you are not in control.
Exactly. It's not down to you anymore.
It's not down to you. When you're giving birth, there's nothing. There's nothing. Like your body's doing whatever it's doing, whether your back's hurting, whether the contractions are, whether the heart rate of the baby, like you can't control none of that. And it's scary.
It's so scary.
My
honestly, guys, tell us your stories. Like, what did you not know about being a parent before you became a mom or before you became a dad? Like, tell us what your concerns were, or what even now you still don't know. Because me too, I was today years old when, you know, fill in the blank.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're Mums in Melanin. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Tell your mum, even tell your mum self. Let her come and even give us some stories there.
See you guys later.
See ya.